reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
This is it! I'm Eris Degalkin, and I'm going to lead Destiny's Edge to victory. Rawr! I'm the Crystal Dragon, and I'm going to make you all crunchy.
I'm Logan, and I'm gonna run away.
Hey, that's not fair. Logan didn't run away. He went to save the Queen.
That's running away. His guild needed him. Ritlock wouldn't have run away.
Why don't you be Ritlock then?
Okay, I will. I'm Ritlock Brimstone, you harpy-sniffing dragon. Feel the wrath of my flaming sword.
If he gets to change, I want to change too. I'm Kaith now.
Then I'm Zoja. Your leadership stinks like a scrit cesspool, Air. You're the reason we failed.
You can't be Zoja. You're the dragon. And I'm not Air anymore. I'm Kaith. And Kaith says, focus on the dragon, morons.
Charter Tribunes don't take orders from Kindling. Follow me, everybody. Except you, Logan. You can run back to your girlfriend.
Quit that! He didn't run away.
Ha! I'm the dragon again, and Destiny's Edge is too busy fighting each other to fight me. Die!
Scorch it all! The dragon got us! If only Logan hadn't run away and Air was a better leader.
Yeah? Well, if only Ritlock had stuck to the plan and Zoja wasn't so cranky.
Destiny's Edge tastes delicious. Now I shall conquer the world! Ah ha ha ha! Ah ha ha ha!
Happiness mode engaged.
Hello.
Welcome.
Ready for action.
Happy to meet you, hero.
Glad to have you with us.
You'll find everything you need here.
Hail, traveler.
Wake up, you motherless Ettins. It's time to go.
I'd offer the traditional pirate's greeting, but your spleen is better unperforated.
You're listening to Guild Wars Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network, brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/MMOReporter, and by Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon at doghousesystems.com. Hello and welcome to another episode of Guild Wars Reporter. This is episode 172. I am Celeste, and as always, I am joined by the illuminating Alona.
I like that one. I never thought of something for you. How about grilled cheese Celeste? Because that's what you had for dinner.
I'll accept it.
So, chat room, Celeste sent me a picture before the show of her eating a grilled cheese, going, and she's wearing one of her daughter's little princess hats as well, and it was super adorable. I probably wasn't supposed to tell you guys that, but it was super cute.
It's like you have verbal diarrhea. I'll just sit here. You can do the whole show.
Have you met me? It's like, this is what I do.
So, Alona.
What?
Oh, wow. What did you do in game this week?
It wasn't an awful lot, actually. Even though there's a fair number of bullet points here, it seems a little bit thin. We did Fungeons on Saturday. Fungeons and Fractals, in that we had enough people to do 2 groups.
Wow.
Right. One group did Fungeons, and one group did Fractals. Although in our chat software, the group that did Fungeons was in the Fractals chat. And the group that did Fungeons were in the Fractals chat. So I'm like, this is typical, really, is what it comes down to.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And then Sunday night, we did guild missions. Mock did. And I also did guild missions with Maven on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And Maven's been having issues with some of the glitchiness with guild missions, but I think partly it's just getting used to the changes. There is still some hinkiness above and beyond that, like not getting rewards for things like that certainly happened. There was, I think, Guild Puzzle. I did it twice, once with Maven and once with Mock, and never got rewards at all. But I'm doing it for the favor for the guild, so it's not a huge deal,
Right.
for me. Like, I mean, it is a huge deal, but I'm not ragey about it. The big thing for me about the guild missions was Mock did their first guild puzzle, and it's one I've run with Maven a lot, but I never really understood what was going on. To be perfectly honest. Well, because there were so many other people doing it and they all just knew what to do.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of like, well, just run through and be basically useless. And it was like pulling teeth a little, and I'm including me in this, trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to do this? It was the Langmar Estate puzzle. And there's this one section where there are a series of 6 curtains on the main floor. And then up high, there's corresponding curtains. And the people on the main floor, you pull the curtain rod and you can see like a visual of some emote. And then you would whisper the person who's your buddy and they would type out the emote and the door will open so you can proceed. And we didn't have quite enough people, but we did have 3 mesmers. It was trying to work out, okay, how to do this. So we had the 3 mesmers on the north curtains. So we made our exit, went back down, everyone opened, we portaled up, and everyone else whispered their buddies. It worked really good. I mean, it took a while to get to that point. But once we did it, we succeeded first try.
Cool.
Yeah. Which I was pretty proud of, actually.
That's really great, actually.
I was unreasonably proud of this. Ran around with Revenant for a while, with a bunch of other new Revenants from mostly Mockeries. And it was fun. I knew, I did a level 30 scroll on him.
Right.
But did some of that. Did some hero point stuff. Did just some random wandering around one day. Just really casual, actually. Just casual.
It's that kind of a week.
Yeah. Did some PvP, of course. Not an awful lot. Just a couple matches here or there. Some for guild missions. And spent a lot of time on guild hall stuff. And I've come to the realization that guild halls are like maintaining another character that you share with other people. Because you have to increase the level of your guild hall, and there's certain things you can't do until you're certain levels, and there's abilities you can gain by spending your experience points and favor, but experience.
Yeah,
points. And,
basically,
it's like another character. It's a non-sentient character that takes all of your stuff.
Yes. That takes all of your stuff.
Kind of like a regular house, actually, when you think about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Finally, I got the glittering staff skin before they went away.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad I did. Very happy with that. Because the staff that I've been using on Alona forever, it had one of, the very first year that had the Winter's Day skins, the alpine-y wooden ones with the snowflakes around them. I don't know what I did with that one. I must have deleted it or salvaged it by accident or sold it. Oh. It's just gone. I mean, it was an exotic. I'd had it forever. It owed me nothing.
Right, yeah, but still.
So, anyway, I realized this one day when I wanted to switch to a staff or something. I'm like, why do I have no staff? This sucks. So I was waffling on what skin I wanted to use for a staff, and then I decided, let's upgrade. Let's get a glittering one. And because there was a sale this past weekend, it's not on anymore, right? It's over now?
I think it's done, yeah.
Yeah, I bought a ton of outfits.
Oh my god.
And bits. I bought the Ringmaster's hat and I think 3 outfits. I went crazy. Broadway style.
Yeah.
Oh, sale's still on.
It's still on right now, but I think by the time this episode releases...
Oh, releases. But I could still log in tonight is what I'm saying.
You need more?
I'm not done.
I have not spent a single gem since I got Ultimate.
Oh, I cannot say that. I've been a bad person.
Not a bad person, just a good little consumer.
I'm weak. Yes. I need new work clothes. Or I could get an outfit for my characters.
Jeez.
So, yay. What did you do?
I totally did stuff.
Did ya?
Yeah.
Rockin' stuff?
Definitely.
You could have said that with a little less enthusiasm.
Well, like I was gone all weekend.
Yes, you were.
I did some more of the Guildhall contributions and stuff like that. I moved a lot of my characters to the Flax Flarm.
Flarm? Flax Flarm?
Flax Flarm.
That's what we're going to calling it now. Flax Flarm.
Yes, to the Flax Flarm. To get the Flax Flarm for my flaxes. Should put an L on the show notes to indicate that this is now a thing.
The Flax Flarms.
Yes. Because flax is super important for just about everything.
It is. And, there needs more flax. More. Not a thing I'd ever thought I'd say in my entire life. I need more flax.
Well, I think I'm gathering close to like 50 now every day from New.
You're my new best friend. Hey, Celeste.
I'm making it for your Guildhall, woman. What more do you want?
Nothing. That's it. You're beautiful. Never change.
All right. I'm also taking donations of Corsan because those stupid mugs.
Oh, I did several runs of Silver Wastes this weekend.
Oh, good.
There's always something I forget.
Yeah, I know.
But that was... Oh, and I bored Hunter one night, or one afternoon.
Bye?
It's Saturday afternoons, I often just tootle around harvesting.
Yeah.
Just, like, literally aimless wandering and stop at every node available.
Yeah, and we're usually just in chat and chatting.
Yeah. He joined me for that, and afterward I was like, okay, we need to do something else. It's like, that's fair.
Like, okay.
You
I
know,
guess we can do things.
I bored him. When I'm by myself, I'll do that usually. And I kind of settled in that that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
For all the elder wood that we now need, elder wood and mithril, it's now a thing. Thank you, guild halls.
So, yeah, I didn't really get a whole lot done because I was gone all weekend, but I did manage to tootle around and get a few things handled. Let's go ahead and talk about when we live stream. We live stream on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. EST, 6:30 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/MMOreporter. We recently published our holiday schedule to our Twitter and Facebook page in case you're interested in stopping by for the live streaming. It is going to get a little bit hinky over the holidays.
Hinky for the holidays?
Hinky for the holidays. And to go along with Flax Flarm.
Flax Flarm.
So this upcoming week, we're actually just going to do a live stream night because I'm cooking for way too many people on Thursday. Then the next week, we'll be back with a regular show.
Maybe we should try a raid live. Nothing could go wrong with that.
All right. You can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher, or video version on YouTube if you're so inclined. And remember to rate and review so that people know that we are a real podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that good stuff.
Yeah. And leave reviews so I can say something after Celeste does her thing.
Think we're ready for another attack?
From land, air, or sea, we won't be caught off guard again.
Report from Lion's Arch. Long live Lion's Arch.
So Spirit Veil's been released.
Yes, it has.
Yes. We had release notes. We're not necessarily going to go into full detail for those release notes. There were actually a huge number of fixes. I thought it seemed like extensive, the number of fixes for the new maps, updates to professions. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's going to be a link. Or you can go to, the wiki and find it there. So we're mostly just going to talk about Spirit Veil. Briefly. Mostly briefly.
Yeah.
Enter Spirit Veil, the initial wing of the first raid in Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, and tackle the greatest challenge yet. Built on top of our action combat and dynamic event systems, Raids and Guild Wars 2 are instanced 10-player content designed to be the ultimate test of your skill. Gather your allies for epic experiences. We knew all this, didn't we? Right?
Yeah, this was just the tagline for the release page. You're basically there to try to find a pack squad that went missing, and the plot is meant to be a side story to the Heart of Thorns storyline, and is happening concurrently without spoiling any main story beats.
Hooray! So, and a quick update for tonight's show. We're not going to, because Cal asked me this beforehand, we're not really discussing story at all, I don't think. So
yeah, no spoilers.
There's no spoilers for the story. They also mentioned in the release the enhanced squad UI implementation, but we're going to go into more in depth with that after this. And also, Legendary Rewards unlocks the collection tiers that will be used to fulfill the requirements for legendary armor. Ascended gear, minis, and unique weapon skins are also available as a loot.
And I haven't rated it all, so I cannot speak to any of this.
Yep. This is a thing that's in the game that came in yesterday, and then I worked till 8 o'clock at night, and then worked all day today, so I've not done it.
I've watched a lot of people stream their struggles with the raid.
Everyone seems to be enjoying it, though, even with the challenges, so...
That's true.
It could have gone the other way, like, this is too hard, nerf, don't like it.
Oh, I don't think anybody was going to be in there and say, no, it needs a nerf.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about the Guild Chat episode. And they were talking about these enhanced squad UI.
Woo! I don't know why I made that spooky.
Because my voice was rather spooky. One of the things they did right off the bat was to announce that fractal changes are coming during one of the December release windows. And it was a letter from John Corpening and John Smith.
The Johns.
Saying, from fractal scale 1 to 50, the toughness stat of creatures will scale up with the fractal scale. Beyond fractal scale 50, the toughness stat of creatures will no longer increase with the scale of the fractal. This is going to make damage builds more viable in higher level fractals. Which I guess one of the biggest problems right now is that from 50 to 100, it's just a slog because they just are so tough that it takes forever to do the fight.
Yes, and I have heard that from a variety of sources, that it's like, it's not that there are interesting mechanics, it just...
Longer fights.
Yeah.
In this iteration of fractal changes, we'll be increasing the drop rate of ascended gear from your fractal dailies with an emphasis on high-level fractals rewarding more ascended armor. So that's good.
Yes, because rewards... Okay, neither of us are, like, huge, like, Fantastic Rewards or GTFO. Like, we're not, like, super...
But at the same time, neither of us wants two blues and a green.
I haven't done an awful lot of fractals, but it was... And I think someone else, like, it actually is costing money to run fractals.
Yeah, and that's not good.
Yeah. So there's also apparently more liquid rewards, i.e. gold.
Yes, and there's also more XP in the boss chest. This experience counts towards earning your masteries for Central Tyria.
Yay!
And increases both for more difficult fractals as well as with increased fractal scale.
Yay!
More XP!
Whew! No one has to run Citadel Flame Path 1 ever again!
Oh, jeez. So, all of the gameplay programmers were there that were involved with the squad UI. There was Trevor Bennett, Brandon Gee, and John Olson. Along with Ruby, of course.
And they all did a great job, I just have to say.
A squad is for a single leader organizing a group of players to perform a task, in case you wanted the developer's definition of what a squad is. The raid squad is limited to 10, and everyone can invite to the raid. This is if you're in a leaderless squad, by the way.
Okay. But in raid, yeah, only up to 10.
Only up to 10, correct. And they also said one of the side things was that you can't take a regular squad into a raid. It has to be designated raid, which means it's limited to 10 people.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
I wonder if that was why they were delayed slightly with the squad UI, trying to figure that out.
Not No, I think it's because it got like super duper broken during the last beta weekend.
Super, not just broken.
Super duper broken. Yeah. And there's a regular squad, which is led by a person with a commander tag, where you can organize players into subgroups. You can have up to 15 subgroups per squad, and they max out at 50 people, so not everybody gets into their own subgroup.
Mm-hmm.
You can move yourself to a different subgroup unless the commander locks the subgroup.
Mm-hmm.
That will prevent you guys from moving yourselves around or other people from joining other subgroups.
And you probably would only do that if you wouldn't want to do that for World versus World, would you?
Mm.
Like, you wouldn't want to lock that in World versus World, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, like if you have a set Havoc group or something like that, and you don't want somebody to join in on it.
That's true. I was thinking...
They're also able to see the total supply for each subgroup as well.
That's sweet.
So that's pretty awesome. And they can broadcast squad messages.
Which was super awesome!
Right? The pop-up
and I could see that
across,
being abused.
Yes. Can go to the whole squad or just specific subgroups.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. And it's got the full across-the-top pop-up like you would see for an event or something like that.
I want to do that, make squads now for Fractals and Fungeons, so that when one of us does something dumb, I can, like, type things across the entire screen. Like, revive key last. That sort of thing.
I see.
I'm not saying I'm going to abuse it.
You're going to abuse it.
Oh, I totally am.
Yeah. They talked about the ordering for boon applications. So the way that works, it goes for your subgroup, and then to your, they called it kennel, which I guess is an internal thing that they've been using, but that describes your pets, minions, gadgets, all that kind of stuff. And then it carries over to other players' kennel.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
I like how it's resizable.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of, other than your bag inventory, there's none of the other UIs, bags and chat. Nothing else is really resizable. A minimap. Okay, there's tons that's resizable.
Yeah, it's super resizable.
Okay, but not as resizable as, like, say, Guild Wars 1 was. Like, the customizability of its UI was crazy.
Yeah. I miss that a lot.
Yeah, I did too, actually. So, that's where I was going from when I said not as customizable. But no, but I really like that you lose some of the information. Like, you no longer see names. But I was thinking, realistically, if you are in World versus World and have a really large squad, and they're mostly people you don't know, names aren't important.
Yeah, not really.
So you need like a 50-inch screen to play at that point. Otherwise.
Yeah.
And now I want a 50-inch screen. But I thought that was really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And there's apparently a voting mechanism. You didn't talk about this yet, right?
Nope.
No. Voting mechanism for parties to join a squad. And if the party agrees on whether or not to apply to join the squad, and then whether the commander can accept or reject the party into the squad. It's basically each person hits like yes or no, and if the yeses match, you join the squad.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very well done.
Yep.
Not that I've experienced it, but it sounded like it. Like a lot of the UI changes lately, they're trying to think long term.
Yes.
Okay, I know which one I'm thinking. Like with the looking for group tool. Like, it took a while to get that into the game, but once they did, it was done properly.
Yes.
So I would say looks like it's going to be about the same.
Yeah. And there are also really handy pop-ups for when you're doing a ready check.
I loved that.
If you're in a group and the commander asks, you get like a big honking commander tag on your screen saying, "Are you ready?" with yes and no buttons.
Well, and even aside from like raids or World versus World, even guild missions. Like I was talking earlier with you have to be set up at certain places sometimes, and you have to like time things properly. You could have, okay, everyone, are you ready? You are? Okay, now we can start. As opposed to like, okay, is everyone ready? Who hasn't replied? You all have the same voice. I don't know who's talking.
Well, like, they had Ready Check in Guild Wars 1, and it was one of the most helpful features, I think.
I loved it.
Yeah. was a great thing.
It was added fairly late to the game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those things that was with, like, the Wayfarer quest at the end.
No, it was before that.
Oh, well,
I was thinking like some of the Guild Wars Beyond stuff.
Yeah, like Hearts in the North and around there.
Mm-hmm. Ready check. Awesome. Oh, and we didn't have it in the show notes, but there is a new weapon set in the Black Lion Trading Company.
Oh, yes.
It is the plasma set.
You can get yourself a lightsaber.
Yes, it is like, it was funny, like all the comments like, capitalizing on Star Wars, are we?
I do like the shield, though. That's pretty cool, where it expands.
I haven't seen them in practice. I just saw still photos of them. They aren't my aesthetic, but I can see how a lot of people would really, really, really like. Actually, I like the greatsword. I will say that. I kind of thought that looked really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, as Key mentioned in chat earlier, before the show started, there is a animated chest, basically a mimic mini that you can get.
Which I am intrigued by.
Mm-hmm. It'd be awesome to have a big tongue coming out of it like
an
actual mimic.
Yeah.
Surviving the Mists.
Now recruiting for the Battle for the Mists. Is your life a dead end? Looking for meaning? I have the answer to your existential dilemma right here.
Hi, Ultra. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing fine. How are you two doing?
Pretty good.
We're doing fine, too.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. I'm glad everyone's doing fine.
Yes, including the turtle.
Yeah, it's good to be back, and I think my turtle's happy about it too. She's sitting there glaring at me, which is
high level of sass.
Yeah, she is sassy. She's extra sassy, actually. I was telling Alona and Celeste as we were setting up the Skype calls for the chat room, I went to feed her this morning, and she jumped up and almost got a hold of my tie.
Wow.
She was extra hungry, I guess.
You should have let her try, though. See if she could have clamped on.
It's a nice tie, and my mom got it for me, and I didn't want to have to explain why there was a chunk out of it.
Why there was a turtle attached to it.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been rough.
Indeed.
It's good to be back, though. And for surviving the mists. Ooh. I guess I could start by saying like what I've done, where I've been, why I haven't been on the show. But before that, I want to thank Clouded for subbing for me, because he did an excellent job, and I really enjoyed listening to the show while he was on there. And hopefully he's willing to do it again in the future, because it was good. It was very good.
Yep.
So thank you very much, Clouded.
Yay, Clouded.
And yay, Ultra.
And yay, Ultra.
Oh,
yay,
thank you.
everybody.
Okay, there's just too much yays going on. We need get someone negative in here. Get like Grybach up here for some nays or something.
Only about issues with the Necro.
Okay. In the fall, I'm a music teacher all the time, but it's marching band season, so we have like evening rehearsals, which just make it very difficult for me to be on the show. So that's where I was. And I had some other things keeping me away. So, but I have been able to spend some time in game, and I did finally get to Dragon Rank in PvP.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congrats!
Thank you. Thanks. I don't remember when I hit that. I think it was in early September, or maybe. Yeah, that was a good thing to finally hit. And then I put out a montage at like the beginning of October of some World v. World roaming. And that's pretty much all the exciting stuff that's happened for me lately in Guild Wars. Let's talk about some World v. World, because since Heart of Thorns has came out, it's kind of like shattered World v. World as people knew and were comfortable with.
Yeah.
So, have either of you two been in there much?
I was wondering
still haven't gone.
No, I haven't. Not once.
Okay, well, you're not missing out on much. I know that sounds really terrible, but everyone just hates the new Borderlands. It's, and I can understand why. I think people are a little overly dramatic about this, but I can understand why they're frustrated with it. It's because everything is so far apart that nothing feels really strategically connected to each other. So like before in the old Borderlands, the towers were close enough to where having them felt like it was a defensible position or a foothold to get the keeps or garrisons. But now they're just so far apart that they seem pretty much just islands apart from each other. Plus, like I said, the maps are just so big. So the Borderlands, I believe they were like half the size of EBG before.
Yeah.
Roughly. But the new Borderlands, I think, are EBG and a half, or even larger than that. Yeah, like EBG can fit inside this, and like the Desert Borderlands are a picture frame around it. Like this, like they're huge. They're so big. Plus, they're kind of difficult to navigate because they have all sorts of like verticality. Like there's just so many different levels, and you don't have gliding, which is just a real kick in the butt. Because, you know, we get HOT and we get this marvelous gliding system. Like, it's so much fun.
It's
and
so
then you
well
get into
done.
World v. World, and you're like, okay, I'm going to dive right off this. And PSA,
Splat.
yeah, gliders don't function in World v. World.
That's, I thought they were going to. Oh, no, they have jumping mushrooms, sort of, don't they?
Yeah, they have the jumping pads like they have at Lost Precipice or something.
Yeah.
Now, I think part of the community's frustration is just that it's new. It's kind of funny. For the past like 2.5, 3 years, active World v. World players have kind of copped this attitude of like the forgotten child. Like nothing ever changes for them, and it's the same, and nothing ever good happens. Well, hey, ANET has invested a lot and done something for them, and they're like, no, this is too different.
Change bad.
This is new and shiny. How dare you, ANET? So it's kind of funny how that worked out. I think it was just too much change for the community as a whole, but hopefully people will get used to it, and maybe some metas and strategies will come forward that make it more easy to play and navigate. I've done a little bit of Zerging. It just seems like so much running around, so much more running around than what it used to be. But primarily what I do in World v. World is roaming, and I have given up on roaming in the Borderlands just because it's so massive. Like, you just run for hours and fight nobody. So what's happened is roamers are in eternal battlegrounds most of the time. I roamed in the BLs for probably about 3 hours, had like one fight, and I roamed in EBG for 45 minutes, and I had fights for most of the time that I was in there, simply because like that's where the roamers are, and it's really, really nice. It actually just seems like even most of the Zergs are in EBG right now, just because it's comfortable. It's what they know.
Yeah.
So that's the state of the game for World v. World. It's in chaos. World's in chaos.
So if the maps are that much larger, and they were already having not size issues necessarily, but like lower pop servers against each other, like the maps seem big then on lower pop servers. If they're bigger, what does that do for lower pop server? Like, you're on a lower pop server, aren't you?
Well, I actually transferred to Darkhaven mid-August or early September, I think. My guild transferred because we were just starting to do more World v. World 1, like more fights. And I actually thought about that. I thought, wow, if I was back on FC, which is, you know, lower tier, lower population, playing with those other servers, I just thought it'd be a ghost town. Like it'd just be a ghost town. I wouldn't want to be doing it. I'm glad, you know, Darkhaven is kind of like mid-range, but even Darkhaven, like fighting Dragonbrand and eBay and what's a Sorrow's Furnace or something. But it still feels like the Borderlands are just empty. EBG feels like it's super full all the time, but man, those lower tier servers, I couldn't imagine. Maybe someone in chat knows.
Yeah, or you, Celeste, whenever you go in.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier today. I really, really, really should get in to the new map to experience it. I just haven't.
I'm in the same boat. I've just been like, I'll do it.
There's so many other things. There's so much other stuff.
Yeah. There's this pull of other time-intensive things, and I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I gotta do other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't do PvP for like a week and a half once Heart of Thorns came out, because there was Halloween, and then there was, the new shiny jungle stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I finally kind of like stumbled back into PvP and World v World. Mm-hmm. I totally understand. There's a lot of new content to
digest.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. And these two things, they kind of seem like they haven't really changed much compared to the rest of the game. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Even though I'm about to talk about PvP in a little bit here, they have changed a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So I guess I can move on to PvP unless you want to talk about...
Hashtag is on Sanctum of Raw, and she said that she's gone in on and off, and it's looked pretty dead there on Sanctum.
Yeah, and it's kind of ironic that there's like tumbleweeds blowing across the desert borderlands.
I'm doing face.
Yeah, and that's actually something that's a pain in the butt too. The auto camp upgrades. So pretty much every camp you go to flip is fully upgraded, which if you're not a very experienced player or talented player yet, flipping a camp by yourself that's fully upgraded is really difficult. Like it's not something that's you just walk in and do. Like there's definitely a strategy and tactic to it. And these auto camp upgrades, man, they're a pain in the butt. They're just a pain in the butt. It seems like that's what the community is crying out for as an easy, quick fix, is to stop with the auto upgrades.
Mm. What was the reasoning behind putting the auto upgrades in?
Because the community was upset that they had to put money into upgrading stuff.
Yeah.
And have people sit there and upgrade things. So it's... I don't know what to tell us, I guess.
So they want somebody to be there to activate the upgrade, but they don't want it to cost any money, and it can't be auto done.
Yeah. I guess someone just really needs to feel important sitting there clicking F every 5 minutes. I guess that's what needs to happen.
Ooh,
for World v World to function. Okay.
Sounds like a great way to, get your account banned by activating a macro.
Yeah. I think the community will. I think the community will get used to the new Borderlands. Metas will develop, and people will start to enjoy it more.
Yeah,
so
it's just going to take time, and it's going to have people step away from the PvE side of things for a while.
Yeah, I mean the population is low because PvE population is so high too. It's not just because people are totally disliking it. So
yeah,
we will see. We will see.
That sounded ominous.
Now, PvP is freaking awesome. Like,
going
it
gangbusters.
Is. Oh, man. PvP is just great right now because... So one thing that you can do, if you haven't figured this out, or if you didn't know this, if you're curious about a class's elite spec, go into PvP because you have access to it there, so you can
I didn't know
mess with it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get it there.
Whoa.
It's freaking amazing. Sorry, I'll stop saying freaking. I'm just really excited about PvP just because it's so fantastic right now. It's kind of like back in June when they had that patch that totally changed like the trait lines and how our builds work and things like that. We had just this 2 week to, I guess it was more like 3 to 6 week period of like the meta kind of changing around. And that's what we're seeing right now is, we basically have... we have the Revenant plus 8 new classes to go along with it. So it's really just, the game has changed so much. Mm-hmm. So it is
9.
a great
Still
time.
9, actually.
Still 9?
Because the Revenant also has an elite.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm a music teacher, so if I have to count beyond 4, it gets messy. it's just 1, 2, 3, 4.
Done.
Yeah. but anyways, so now is a really good time to get in PvP, experiment, go into a match, just create some sort of wonky build and see if it works for you, because now is as good a time as any with the meta not really being settled and everything being new, and they're probably going to be patching here soon because that's what this period is.
Mm-hmm.
The ranked leagues are going to be starting up soon. And what we are in right now is like the 2-week period of experimentation and careful observation by ANET before these leagues start, because they kind of want to have the metas or builds in place that and things that people can do in place before the season starts. That way there's, nothing really bad happens in the season, which I think this is really cool. And I'm really excited to see how this sort of seasonal curve works out for ArenaNet. Now, I haven't caught up on all the podcasts since my absence. Did you guys happen to talk about how the seasons are going to be working?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you guys know, like, there's 4 per year. That's what they're going to be going for. And we're about to start the first season, and so we'll have leagues being introduced, which is going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited about, because it's going to be a way for players to better see their skill level compared to other players. And they're going to be using, if anyone has played League of Legends, or you're familiar with this system from another game, or even chess, which it originated with, the ELO ranking system or ELO rating system. Like I said, it's used in League of Legends, which is probably where it's most popular, but it's a way of ranking players based on their wins and losses and matchmaking ratio. So that's going to help determine where you're placed at for your league. And I'm super excited for this. Really, really excited. So yeah, get into PvP, experiment, like mess with the elite specs, see what you can do, see what you want to unlock, like outside of PvP.
Yeah. Would you say, like, even if you think it's bananas, just try it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, the first thing I did with Scrapper, cause I'm an NG main, like that's 90% of my game time. The first thing I did with Scrapper is I saw the trait synergy between, regeneration when you get swiftness and super speed and some of the other stuff that NG's had. The first thing that I did was made a kit totally designed to make me move super fast as much as I could. It wasn't anywhere close to meta, but I had a really good time with that. And it's probably a bad build, but it's fun. It's fun.
Right, yeah.
Well, and like, speaking of that, Bootspur, who does World of Enders, is, I think, his YouTube channel.
Has bad builds.
Yeah, Boots' bad builds. But he just made one, was it earlier this week or late last week, called the Resmer. And it's a Mesmer that just revives, like, not revives, but revives, like it from downstate super fast. And it's built not entirely, but mostly around that. And it looks really, really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was like, no, this isn't a bad build. It's niche.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
So have fun, play with it.
That's kind of a fun thing that people do sometimes, is they just decide, I am going to make the weirdest build based on this that I can.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, right now, a really popular one that people are doing is just like taking the Druid and being like, well, Druid is kind of like meant for healing. So I'm just going to make the most Banff Druid healer that I can, and just load up as much healing crap as I can on it and sit in a point and see what happens. You see some of those, and it's a really fun time to just experiment right now, because nothing is really too set in stone.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it never does get set in stone. Personally.
Well, yeah. But at the same time, you should look at meta battle and see what is kind of trending with builds right now, because, everything's kind of still in a flux state. Things have settled a little bit. You do want to look and see what other people have discovered works well, because even if you don't want to play with that, it's good to know what the class can do and what you're going to be fighting against typically. Mm-hmm. So you do want to study those builds, because maybe you'll see something that you're like, oh, well, hey, actually this would work with what I have in mind, so I'm going to use this trait line for this. And, oh, well, they use this sigil with that rune, whatnot. So do study the meta battle for your class, profession, elite spec, whatever.
You might be shown synergies that you didn't really link up yourself.
Yeah. And I know some people are like, I don't like meta battle. I don't like going with the meta builds because it discourages creativity. Well, even the most famous and notable composers in history sought out inspiration from other composers. So you're not doing yourself any favors if you're not, doing your homework on some of this stuff,
Right.
So, yeah. Get in PvP. Get in PvP yesterday.
I would actually argue that PvP is the most rewarding gameplay in the game.
I would agree with you. Everything nice that I've ever got from RNG in the game has come from PvP chests.
Mm-hmm.
And my personal bias, it just has no flaws.
They've given PvP a huge carrot. Like, the carrot for PvP is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it just makes you so much better at your class.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how
it.
much of the internal stuff you don't know until you start trying to build a build of your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, oh crap, why the hell did I have that on my bar for the last 6 months,
Yeah.
Well, but also at the same time, you get to try things that you maybe always wanted to try, but there was really no point doing them in PvE because of how AI works.
Right. Or having to build a whole new armor set or something like that just to try something, and you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Whereas, when you're against other people, like for instance, I love in PvE, I love running a reflex build with my Mesmer. Well, actual players just dodge roll out of those things. So there's really no point to going in with one of those things. So it was like, okay, I have to rethink this. What's something I would have fun playing that would also be effective,
Yeah.
And what I run in PvE isn't useful in PvP and vice versa.
And that kind of reminds me of a question Artful asked back in August on the podcast stream. He asked if Nike and DNT had any impact on PvP metas. And it really doesn't, because the metas that get established for PvE, you're maximizing DPS against basically a target that rarely can do any damage back to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And PvP is not like that. If someone stands still and lets you just max out a combo on them, then it wasn't an actual fight. Like, it's just like that just doesn't happen in PvP. You have to, try something that you wouldn't do in PvE.
Mm-hmm.
A build that just, wouldn't work there. And you'll probably take skills in PvP that you would be like, well, I would never use this in PvE. Like, there's no need for me to have this.
But at the same time, it does make I've found that it's made me more aware in PvE.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I found that too. I remember thinking, wow, how am I ever going to get master the dodge roll in these dungeons? And then I started doing PvP a lot. And when I went back and started doing dungeons again, I thought, well, geez, these mobs, their movements are so slow and telegraphed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can get that same skill by doing a lot of PvE, but you're going to be forced to get it quicker in PvP.
Definitely.
Stupid
if you
people.
If you want to survive
game.
The mists. See, I use the title in the thing. If you want to survive the mists. Oh, new level. And then the last thing I want to point out here for PvP is Evan Lesh posted this in the forums, and I mentioned this months ago. We need match history statistics and something that can be viewable, on player profiles and things.
Yes.
And he posted this in the forums. Someone said, hey, can we get match history with statistics? And he said, no, it's not in match history API, but this is something we think would be awesome to do. So Evan Lesh, thank you for that comment. You've given me so much hope. Please make it happen.
You have to do it now.
Yeah, I want to see this happen, and I want to see a little profile that gives you little medals and things. You made it rain 5 times or something, so you get medals for that.
Achievement.
Yeah.
Or even leaderboards for that, or what have you.
That's a lot better than the current PvP achievements, which are kill 5,000 thieves.
That would be
kill 5,000 thieves.
It's kill this many of this class, sort of thing. Those are some of the achievements in PvP, and you're like, that's gonna take me 10 years.
I take a screen cap after every match.
Me too.
So that I can go back and just look at it later. which it takes up a lot of space on my computer in the end. So I have to go, like, why do I have, like, I'll go through and I've like hundreds of these things now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be really nice to have. Fingers crossed, maybe it's something that they'll look into.
Evan Lesh, be my hero. Make this happen.
Be who we need you to be.
Don't be the hero we want. Be the hero that we need.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Batman.
So because there's no ranked queues, it's creating a strange dynamic with the disparity of experience levels?
Yeah. I put that in the notes and totally skipped over it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because the leagues are going to be starting in the near future, I think, was it November 23rd or 30th or something?
Around that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. But there currently is no ranked arena queue. So everyone's just kind of lumped in with in unrated. And so it kind of creates this strange atmosphere of very serious players versus relatively casual players. And when you have that, you kind of have this collision of ideals. And I've seen a little bit more tense conversations during PvP matches lately. You know, that's something that you're just going to bump into whether you're playing ranked or unranked, either way. But there is a little bit more I've noticed now. Plus, they've taken out the practice arena thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I saw that. I know.
You can't just jump into that, which I think is a bummer. I thought that was a really good thing.
Honestly, I never used it, but maybe I should have.
I used it a few times, and 95% of my games are probably ranked or rated arena games. But you know, if I was trying like a new class build or something, I would just go into practice. You know, that way I'm not a burden to a serious team, and I'm in an environment where people are just practicing.
Yeah.
I will say one of the games I had this past week, it was, I think we had one person on our team that was one of the new professions or new specializations. And the other team was all the new elite specializations. And I don't know how often they had PvP'd prior. So I don't know how much it was that they were newer players or new to PvP or just new to these elite specializations. But there was, I mean, they tried. Like, it wasn't like they just rolled over and said, here, you know, we're done. But I thought it would be, because the elite specializations are so unique and fighting against them is also new to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would balance, and it didn't seem to in this particular match.
What's your level, Alona?
45.
45. Yeah, so you guys could have
forever.
Forever.
God, it's taking forever.
You guys could have easily been put against some like more beginning-ish players.
And it's possible, except they were all, well, no, I was going to say they had the elite professions, but you were saying
you get
that's
those
unlocked anyway. So yeah, I have no idea which way it was skewing. They were very glassy. They went down super quick.
Something that people tend to do when they first start PvP is they're like, I'm going to use my PvE build because this is what I'm comfortable with, which makes sense, but within the context of PvP, that's just a horrible decision. You're just cruising for a bruising.
Pretty much. I've used my PvE builds on PvP. It was disastrous.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson.
And moved on.
I think there is one class that can get away with that right now, and that's the Dragon Hunter, because it is the murdering terror of PvP right now. Yeah.
With the
longbow? No, the traps.
Yeah,
they place those traps on a point, and the traps are invisible to enemies, so they can place them and just walk away, go to another point, and support elsewhere. And then when someone gets on that point,
don't they?
Yeah, and then when someone gets on that point, the traps ignite, and a lot of times, if it's a thief or a ranger, they're just going to down.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Thieves just have no chance against Dragon Hunter. They're like Dragon Hunters are super good at defending against like Thieves backcapping because they just drop some traps and it shuts Thieves down.
I think I might have to take my Guardian into PvP.
Yeah, do it. It's a lot of fun. Just equip all the traps. And then roll your hand across the keyboard.
Oh, man.
Dragon Hunter's the new face roll.
Face roll.
Yep. Doesn't even matter.
Just let your turtle rock across the keyboard. It'll be fine.
Warrior players be like, what?
So a tiny PSA that I found over on Reddit is that you can earn rank points for being ready right when it pops you into the map.
Which, I wish that was retroactive, because I would have a ton. I'd probably be out of 45 by now. Because that's in there, ready. That's the first thing.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good PSA. And it is in the patch notes. However, even on the Reddit thread, they were saying, like, I read the patch notes and I
didn't see this.
Didn't see it. Like, it is there, but there was... Dudes, it was along patch notes.
Yeah. So. Too long, didn't read.
Yeah, there was a lot there, so you tend to start skipping at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
Or skimming, rather. So, yeah, I thought that was really great. Because, it's the first thing I do, so yeah. 10 points for me.
Woohoo! And now for the previous game. We said there's been a ton of new skins added to the Black Lion Trading Company, and what would be your dream aesthetic design for a set of weapons? Clouded offered up cat weapons. Just think about it.
Yes.
As his recommendation.
Wow.
And we did manage to get a few other ones over the course of the past 2 weeks as well. So we're going to go ahead and share those now.
Those?
Yes.
We're sharing those.
Sharing those tips.
We got one from Particle Shift over on Tumblr. And they made concrete and cookie weapons. Not at the same time. They're two completely separate sets.
Mm-hmm.
Although concrete cookies, like, I think everyone knows someone who makes cookies that are like concrete.
Oh, yeah.
So, but these are separate. And the concrete ones are pretty funny and look hella painful.
Yeah. Like, I have no idea how that would slice, but youch.
It wouldn't have to. It would not have to.
Concrete weapons, everything's a hammer.
Yes.
Hammer all the things. All your enemies look like nails.
Mm-hmm.
And the other set was cookie weapons. So they're holding, it looks like a cookie focus and a cookie scepter.
Yes.
And I approve.
Yes.
Largely because I really want cookie weapons to happen. Because I'm not sure if Particle Shift knows this, maybe they do, but there was a gingerbread shield in Guild Wars 1.
Like candy cane hammers.
Well, there's candy cane hammers in Guild Wars 2.
And staffs.
Yes, but the gingerbread shield was like a gingerbread that had a face icinged onto it, and the eyes. You know, sometimes when you get cookies, they'll put M&Ms for the eyes. The same sort of thing, but it's like a G and a W.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved that shield a lot.
Yes, it's in my inventory still because it made me super duper happy.
And because we're hoarders in Guild Wars 1.
Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, real life. You know, whatevs.
Exactly.
So I love those. I thought they were A for effort. I know that's not how the phrase goes, but I'm saying it.
Yes.
Good enough. Irish Dog contributed, do watch, listen, read, know of many of the content creators and important people in the community of Guild Wars 2. Oh, do you watch, listen? Well, now wield their handsome mugs into battle. Their faces. Viewing convenience, a list of each weapon below. He didn't do all the weapons, but there is a pretty good amount of here. Mace, Bog. Charge into battle with the screaming face of the Bog Otter.
Bop Otter.
Bop Otter.
Bop Otter, sorry.
Actually, what would be funny about that one is if something dropped for the other player, you would yell, "Can I have it?"
Or if it had like some of those bad Foley effects from the videos he did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Pistol, Hunter, Rabbit Head, even more ridiculous than Quip, Wabbit Season.
Yes.
And then every time it fired, it just did that sigh he does.
I would pay for that. For God's sake.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
Scepter, Boots, confuse opponents with the strangest look boot on a stick. Bad to the boots.
I want a boot on a stick now. That would be awesome.
Sword, Colin, smite enemies with the winning smile, I can swing.
And if you cleave, I swing again. That would be awesome.
Here's one for Alona. Shield, Hero of Shaymore. For the best shield, get the Oaken Shield. Defend yourself with his heroic smile and face. No one will dare hit you.
Yes. Although I said to Celeste, like, when did Cal become a community
Important community member, right?
Like everyone else, yes, then Cal. Cal's in here somewhere. Just like, dude. The best shield. People, I gotta live with this person.
Torch, that shaman. Illuminate all the secrets before you, even ones you shouldn't have access to. That torch.
I love that one.
Yes.
I would love a torch that was like,
good.
that torch. What are you wielding? That torch.
That torch.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. Speaking of torches, I just realized like a couple months ago that Rodgort is Trogdor backwards.
Oh my god, you just... Oh, that's so...
That's so
I didn't know that. And then when I was looking at someone that had it, I was like, that reminds me of Trogdor. Like, just the way it was, like, curved and stuff. And then I thought, shoot, that's Trogdor.
Yeah. Burning in the countryside.
Oh, yeah. And then I watched some Homestar Runner.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that was a bad rabbit trail. Warhorn, Jebro, deafen or stun your foes with the power of your voice through the shout caller. That's pretty
great
good.
idea.
I like
That's
that.
pretty good.
Yeah. Nice. Greatsword, matte visual. Wield the most visually stunning greatsword in game. Eviscerate enemies with the largest mohawk you will ever see. The visual.
Actually, it should be like a helm. Like, swing.
I'm sorry, I read ahead. The next one is Warhammer. And this is Inks, but just his beard. Knock all your foes away with the Ink Pounder. Now with handle proper hand girth width. Inks and Bogot are approved.
Yes. So you can whop and sweep.
Whop and sweep?
Whop and sweep.
Yeah. You don't remember that?
Oh, yes, I do remember that now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
The Longbow, Aurora Peachy. Shower your enemies with the Falling Tears Longbow.
That's so awesome. I love that one. And it would be pink.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I love that one.
I think it should drop peaches on people, but that's just me.
No, but she cries at Peachy Reacts all the time.
That's mean. I guess, no, that's not mean.
No, it's not mean.
She knows she cries at everything.
Oh, okay. Staff, the WP for every wizardly lore person, potato on a stick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things on, two things on sticks. Boot on a stick, potato on a stick.
Beard on a stick.
Yeah, I was going to say the beard on a stick. Oh, Inks.
There should be a whole set of weapons or like things on sticks.
That's kind of what they just came out with a couple weeks ago with the
the not reclaimed, improvised
weapons.
Oh yeah.
I hope they keep that as one ticket forever. Do you know how?
Yeah.
If you think about it, that'd be kind of awesome. Like the improvised weapons are always one ticket and always available.
I like it. That makes sense, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Calabajui, he offered up a Swiss Army weapon set. Different tools or different weapons. Big blade is a great sword. Bows fold open and fire toothpicks, etc. And they all look the same when they're stowed. And the torch has a built-in flashlight.
That is so cool.
That is really cool. Like, that would be awesome. Legit awesome.
The mayhem that would cause, though, for PvP and World v World, if you could not tell what your opponent was wielding before you started fighting them.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Love
it.
That's devious. That's just sinister. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously, I want cookie weapons.
I just want cookies. I don't know. I'm just hungry.
No, I want cookies.
The challenge is to get into PvP and try out all the specializations.
Oh.
Try them out.
That's like 9 games, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, shoot. And I totally forgot that. Well, no. You don't have to, you don't actually have to play a game with them. Like, you can just go into, like, a private arena with a friend or something, or just go attack, like, some golems or something. I just want you to get into the PvP arena and try them out. Even if you don't have enough character slots, if you have 1 open character slot, you can try everything. You just create a character, go right into the PvP arena, mess around with it, delete it when you're done, start anew with something else. But try all the elite specs.
You don't know what it's like, though, when you make something that you're going to throw away, but then you end up loving it and you can't get rid of it.
Okay, try as many as you can stomach.
Tales of Tyria.
So, actually, I'm going to just read the title Celeste gave this because it made me laugh. Your tears make me giggle like a schoolgirl. And it is a post over on Reddit that is dripping with sarcasm, and I actually have to read the whole thing.
Okay.
We should all take this moment to thank ArenaNet for all those collection items that can't be vendored. Recently, there has been so much negativity going around that I think we should talk about one feature of the expansion that I think everyone can appreciate. We got tons of new awesome collections, and with those collections came tons of new items that are only used for those collections that cannot be sold to vendors. I had so many problems in the past with me accidentally going to vendors and accidentally clicking on the collection items in the sell tab and then accidentally selling these literally useless items for a few copper to vendors, making it so that a large amount of the items can't actually be sold to vendors at all is a great solution to that common problem. Thank you also for cleaning up the appearance of the collection items that only have value as part of collection, by making sure that a lot of them don't have a disclaimer that they only have value as part of a collection, so that I can always ponder if that item might actually be important later on and something that shouldn't be thrown away. Even then, you've shown brilliant foresight by making sure that trying to throw away these items that are using up your inventory space and nothing else will result in you having to type the full, mostly very long, name of the item. My personal highlight of this was when I was mining an auric basin and suddenly got 9 auric sharpening stones all at once. All of them using a different bag slot, and all of them needing to be deleted with a confirmation message that requires me to type the exact same name. My inventory definitely looks much more interesting now that I finally managed to get rid of all those boring brown spaces in it. I was like, oh, good. Good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that made me laugh a lot. And actually, someone mentioned in the thread, was it about the bag slots going on sale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you need them.
Mm-hmm. ANET's just so thoughtful for getting all those bag slots on sale. Because they know people were going to run out of inventory space, you know?
Yeah. I love sarcasm. That was a salty post, and we're salty for sharing it.
Yes.
But it was well done. so.
Poor ANET. They just, they put stuff out and the community is just like, nope, we're pissed. Nope, nope.
But see,
too many nice things.
There are a lot of very, very nice things, but this was a really well done passive aggressive post.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. It was like that's the kind of like complaining that you want to see.
Yes. Like at least it took cleverness and effort.
Yes. It was good. Well done.
Something that Alona found over on Tumblr that isn't ruinous is a very emotive Norn. And it's just really well done. I like it.
Yeah. It actually reminds me a lot of, like, not Disney exactly, but, that sort of...
Yeah, character study type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Also on Tumblr, we found find it here from Escalon.
Mm-hmm.
A super quick bust paint of a tactical fern, and that is super adorbs. Mm-hmm. I want that hairstyle in game.
That would be pretty great, actually.
Yeah. I love the highlights on the face, too.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Although it does look pretty human for it being an Azura. It does.
Oh, you know what it is? You know why I love it so much? ElfQuest.
Yeah.
This is gonna make me sound silly, but I actually thought it was a Sylvari at first.
That does make you sound silly.
Well,
I mean, I loves you, man, but
it's called Tactical Fern, and just
yeah. One of the tags on the bottom says Azura. That's the only reason I knew it was supposed to be an Azura and not some other humanoid race.
Really? I totally thought it was Azura right from the bat.
Nope.
Oh.
It's like green.
Well, I mean, the coloring. I didn't think the coloring had anything to do with it, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have a defense here.
It's all good. And then over on Reddit, Durzen shared their Ethereum generation calculator, which is super handy if you are in need of trying to figure out when the heck your Ethereum is going to get full, so you can spend it as soon as it gets full.
I need this.
And it's pretty cool.
All the time.
Pretty slick.
And I think it's in German, English, and French now, so pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I love the things that community people do. Like
right?
that. Totally sweet.
Oh, and that was, we talked about this before the show, and we completely forgot to put it in the show notes. Celeste and I had the very great honor of narrating last week's Kit the Traveler episode entry? Prompt? And we didn't talk about it on the show because we weren't 100% sure which week we were going to be.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's this Friday or not. I don't want to publicize it if...
Yeah, because we didn't want to ruin a surprise.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Thank you for asking us, Kit. It was a lot of fun, and we're more than happy to help.
Yeah, it was super awesome. Yeah, we got bubble pipe and funky hats.
Yes. Well, you had a bubble pipe.
So, next week is going to be Ask an Azura. Well, actually, Ask an Azura is going to be next time, which is going to be on December 2nd.
Which is a very awesome day.
Yes, it is. Super awesome day for Pear.
It's the bestest day for me.
Cal's birthday?
Oh my god.
Why would that be my favorite day?
Because it's Kaladin, Oak, and Shield.
No, it's
I shouldn't even have to explain this to you.
No, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to do the show on my birthday. The listeners are my gift.
Wow. So next week, on the 25th, we're going to be doing live streaming, so we're not going to have an actual show that comes out on the following Friday. Just so you know.
We may or may not try raids.
We may or may not try raids, depending on how far gone I am, to be perfectly honest. And, yeah.
I'm doing the what?
Staying up late, planning meals, cooking, prepping,
Oh.
Thanksgiving is very labor intensive.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting why we're streaming in the first place.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. That's what's going to happen. And thank you, Ultra, for doing the show with us this week. It was really great to have you back.
Thanks. It's really good to be back.
Yay.
Missed it a lot. Missed it a whole lot.
And thank you, Pear, for coming and doing the show with us this week and sharing your wonderful true facts about eggnog. Definitely needed to know that.
Ooh, that's a better one.
Thank you, chat room, for being your usual bright and sunny selves and keeping us relatively on task. And thank you for downloading the show. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you come back again week after next. But most importantly, we hope to see you in game.
May the Six watch over you.
So if you have a community event that you would like for us to share, please send us an email.
The Legion calls.
And if you've got a burning question for our Ask an Azura segment, let us know.
Seize the moment.
And so now let's go ahead and talk about our sponsor.
More people should learn to barter.
If you are in dire need of audiobooks, or just, you enjoy books with sound, you can go to audibletrial.com/MMOreporter and you'll get a free audiobook.
I'm selling. You buying?
And if you use the coupon code MMOReporter at doghousesystems.com, you will get an additional 120 gig SSD drive for free on your next build, and or possibly a Superstar Destroyer.
No free samples.
So if you're in love with the show or the network, consider becoming a patron on our Patreon page. You should definitely check it out. Patreon.com/MMOReporter.
Let's see the color of your coin.
So, Alona, if people want to get into contact with us to share their questions, answers, or corrections, how could they do so?
They can email us at gwreporter@MMOreporter.com. Twitter is at gwreporter. Our website is guildwarsreporter.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 616-666-6778. YouTube is MMO Reporter Network, and remember to like our videos and subscribe to the GW Reporter playlist. And while you're hanging out there, try some of the other shows. You might find something you like. Facebook is GW Reporter. Tumblr is gwreporter.tumblr.com.
You must visit more often.
And you can visit us on Twitter. I am at OneBigPear, as in the fruit.
And I am at Selyuki.
In a world where you can visit us on Twitter, I am Ultra at Ultratown.
Or at Hunter's Insight, one word.
You're kidding, right?
Or you can find us in game where I am Selyuki.5046.
And I'm OneBigPear.1249.
And I am Ultratown.5683.
Incredible!
And you can get me in game at Hunt, H-U-N-T, I forget my user display name or whatever.
I can't believe it.
Until next time.
Yes, that's right. So thank you for coming and watching the video, and we hope to see you in game. In this iteration,
Get the in out. Get the in out.
In this,
I need some eggnog.
Chicken juice. Oh wait, you guys are American. You don't.
Chicken juice.
Because eggnog is called lait du poulet, or chicken milk, sorry.
Chicken milk?
So my friends and I just call it chicken milk.
That makes it. I kind of feel bad for liking it now.
Oh.
Lait du poulet. Lait du poulet.
Yeah, you just ruined something I love.
You and like Field of Dicks and all this other stuff, man.
I come up with the worst things, apparently.
You ruin things.
Alona the Ruiner.
Yeah, Irish. Inapprops.
Inapprops. Chicken milk.
Thanks for watching the video, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the other podcasts at MMOreporter.com or by clicking on any of the links here. And please check out our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MMOreporter. Thanks, everyone, and see you in game.